Hi kids, and welcome to the magic show. Sorry, I just had to crack that joke. DZone's community manager just replied me on Twitter and informed me that one of my articles had gone like semi-viral, acquiring 17,000 readers. So obviously being able to invoke HTTP REST endpoints with single lines of code is of interest for the community, because that was what the article was about, and it was an article about C# being able to invoke HTTP REST endpoints with one single line of C#. So I wanted to illustrate how you could do this with a fully fledged version of Magic. And I've just created a new release where I have fixed my HTTP REST invocations, which unfortunately had a bug in the previous release. It is version 5.5.1 that you can see here. So you need at least that version or a higher number. So I'm logged into Magic now. I'm going to go to the Evaluator. From here I'm going to click Control Space. That gives me autocomplete, and I'm going to write http:/get. Sorry, .get, not colon. I tend to say that erroneously quite often for some reasons. Then I'm going to need two of these guys, because what I'm going to write as the value of my HTTP GET invocation contains a colon. HTTPS ://google.com. And whenever you have a colon in your value, such as I do now, you need to wrap your strings inside of quotes, like I did now. Evaluate, and it returns Google. There's a little bit of erroneously error detection here, unfortunately, for google.com. Probably some funny carriage returns. Let's try a different site. Reddit.com. There we go. Slightly better. Now, as you can see, this one returns the status code as its primary value. Then it returns a collection of headers containing all HTTP headers, and then it returns content here. The content obviously is the important part. Now, and of course, the HTTP REST invocation thing that can be found in magic.lambda.htp projects also contains post, it contains put, and it contains delete. And of course, you can add up headers, https://reddit.com. I can add up headers, foo : bar. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work or if Reddit's going to find my HTTP header to be bogus. It did work. And I can also provide a token. If I have a token, a JWT token, typically they look something like this, then that's going to automatically declare my token to be a bearer token and attach it into the authorization header. So this is basically just a shorthand for this. Token here. Now, in my previous video also, I had another demo troll which I have now fixed, which is when you CRUDify one single table and you choose Custom SQL here, or not one single table, one database, and you choose Custom SQL. This previously didn't work. It now does. I can create an HTTP GET, I can call my endpoint foo, I can pass in an argument, and then I can select all from to-dos where header like alpha filter. And of course this filter here, as you can see here, becomes a reference to this argument. And this argument declaration, of course, is simply just Hyperlambda. I can declare as many args as I wish to and have different type for them, and etc. However, I'm simply going to use a single argument filter. Then I'm going to create my endpoint, and I'm go to my endpoints, and I'm going to evaluate it, at which point I can pass in filter equal %, sum, %, evaluate, and this was the part I tried to evaluate in my previous video, which didn't quite entirely work, but now it does. So now you can, in the latest release of Magic, you can also create completely custom SQL that is evaluated as a consequence of some HTTP REST endpoint. You can choose your verb, and you can choose the name for it, and you can attach authorization to your endpoint. This is a comma separated list, by the way. You can add as many as you want to, and of course if it is empty, then it requires no authorization whatsoever, in fact. And any type of SQL you wish to write here, I mean, you can literally write gigabytes of SQL inside of this, although I won't really recommend it. But you could if you want to. Any amount of complexity in your SQL, and you can also dereference any arguments using alpha. Filter is the name of my argument here, you see, and I'm referencing it as alpha.filter, and of course this uses SQL parameters, so it completely prohibits the ability to create SQL injection attacks towards your HTTP REST endpoint. So anyway, that was just a brief summary of what I've been doing lately. You can find a link to the DZone article if you're interested in the C# version of this instead of the Hyperlambda version of it in the description of this YouTube video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.